Ricochet, a former IWGP Junior Weight Champion. He was actually a 3-time Junior Heavyweight Champion, for anybody asking. But if you don't know why I'm mentioning him in IWGP and not WWE, that's because you would probably be very fucking disappointed. If you don't know what about Ricochet, you may be asking to yourself, why do I have to care about Ricochet? He's not doing much in WWE. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit more of a history about Ricochet. So he worked with many independent scenes as Prince Puma in Lucha Underground more off. And he has started to become Ricochet. Took off the mask, started becoming more of a really good high flyer. Became King Ricochet. Not Ricochet, just King Ricochet. You know, I hope you make sense on that. Started working with other companies like Evolve, IWGP, and a lot of other companies he started working with. In 2018, he got signed to NXT, and he became the North American champion 4 months after his debut. And he did really well, right? I mean, Ricochet is one of the best competitors in professional wrestling today. If Ricochet never existed in professional wrestling, we would have, yeah, sure, you may be arguing that we have AJ Styles, we have Will Ospreay, we have Matt Sydal, we have Pac or Neville for some people, but Ricochet is still a very big part of professional wrestling history because he's one of the best high flyers we've ever seen. Amazingly, and one of my favorites was his match against Adam Cole. I remembered Ricochet's amazing moonsault and super kick counter. That was my favorite moment in NXT. One of my favorite counters in wrestling history. Really cool. And pretty much what happened was Ricochet went to the main roster, teamed up with Aleister Black, went for the tag team division, which is, of course, the starter for WWE. And then after that, they fucked him up, like, horribly. They fucked him up really badly. They gave him the United States title, thankfully, but then he lost it quickly to AJ Styles. He got buried by Brock Lesnar in Super Showdown this year. He degraded himself to being a full-time jobber by starting to wear trunks and not tights. I mean, the dude is a really good guy, but fucking hell, if WWE knows what to do with the wrestlers, they need to learn how to do them very quickly. And they have to learn how to push good wrestlers. Now, he's not the first one to be buried. I mean, many have. Best example is Andrade Cien Almas, who they shortened to Andrade. Elias Sampson, you know, American Alpha. Breezango, who is now in NXT. Finn Balor, who literally had to go back to NXT, and he's now champion, which is really cool. I mean, they literally ruined so many people from NXT. There's even worse. There's Ascension. There is, like, Kairi Sane, Asuka, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, they've ruined so many people from NXT, and they basically destroyed their careers. Shinsuke is one of the worst ones in my opinion, because he was one of the best in IWGP. He fought AJ in the Classic, but then they fucked it up, turned him heel, made him the king of low blows. I don't know, man, but they did that to Shinsuke. But, you know, honestly, if WWE never buried Ricochet, most people would probably not have shamed WWE that often. But thankfully, we all know what's going to happen in the end. Vince McMahon's going to die. Vince McMahon's going to probably, finally, no longer hold and restrict these great, talented wrestlers. And, you know, they can finally start striving again in WWE. But, you know, honestly, in my opinion, Ricochet is one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen in the ring. He's a great babyface, and I don't know, if he becomes a heel, that'll probably be cool. Right now, he's feuding with Retribution, which I don't really think is going to go anywhere for him. I think he's just going to join the stable and become one of those stupid idiots wearing a fucking mask everywhere, and he'll be a stupid idiot like Dominik Dijakovic calling people pussies everywhere. I mean, damn, it's kind of awful if you think about it. And there's not only that, there's even worse. If you don't know, Ricochet's been even buried. If you don't know why, I do know why Ricochet is buried. There was a leaked video of him. I'm not gonna tell you what he did. He did some very inappropriate stuff to his butthole, and due to that, unfortunately, Vince McMahon ruined him after giving him the U.S. title. That thing leaked, and people knew about it because of his tattoos. And after that leaked video showed up, they made him lose the belt to AJ Styles. They fucked him over Brock Lesnar. They made him beat Seth Rollins, by the way, for a number one contender spot, and then they beat Brock Lesnar in Super Showdown. For fuck's sakes, I don't know who in the right mind to decide to do this. Well, maybe Vince McMahon does, because he likes big sweaty men who can give him a blowjob. But I mean, seriously, man, dude, Vince, if you're watching this or you're listening to this, I really don't know what your kink is, but if you're on Anchor, go to my channel, man, youtube.com/ZachTheSaint. But if you guys are on YouTube and want to go to Anchor, anchor.fm/ZachTheSaint. But anyways, shameless plug aside, Vince, if you're listening to this, I want to tell you, use people properly. I mean, the reason why everybody who is in WWE goes to AEW is because you underutilize them. Dean Ambrose moved into Jon Moxley, Rusev became Miro, and a lot others. Chris Jericho became Chris Jericho, Cody Rhodes became Cody. I mean, all of them basically became better versions of themselves. Well, maybe not Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is basically fucking Triple H at this point. He'll be in a different video, do not worry. But freaking hell, if WWE decided to actually use their superstars and actually give them potential, I would have still watched Raw. I watched SmackDown and NXT because NXT and SmackDown are pretty good. Raw's just a fucking mess. I mean, well, yeah, they did bring that soap opera of Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. They brought that. Yes, that god-awful feud. They brought that to SmackDown and almost cost it a lot. But, I mean, everything is cool in SmackDown. I mean, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso's feud is great, Roman basically threatening Jey over Jimmy's life if he doesn't turn heel on other people. While, Monday Night Raw has, I don't know, Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business, which are really good, but, fucking hell, they're not really going to be the greatest in my opinion. I think they have to go to SmackDown to really boom the business, But anyways, off topic, I'm just trying to say Ricochet is a great talent. I think Ricochet needs to reinvent himself. I'm not telling him to turn heel, alright? I love Ricochet as a babyface. Actually, I have an idea. If he joins the Hurt Business, and if the Hurt Business turns face and fights Retribution, that's a match I would love to see. Retribution versus the Hurt Business with Ricochet. 5 people versus 5 people, because I know that Retribution has 5 people. Well, maybe 4, because Mia Yim is still or Maya Yim, because that's her actual name, but I'll just call her Mia Yim for the Americans who are watching my videos and my podcasts and etc. Basically Mia Yim, for anyone asking, is actually a girl, so I guess it's just going to be a 4v4. So yeah, I just give ideas and suggestions. Please Ricochet with the Hurt Business and make the Hurt Business turn face. Make them fight Retribution. Retribution gets buried and everyone goes back to NXT. Happily ever after. 3 people from NXT, maybe 4 of them can finally do well. And Ali can probably, Mustafa Ali can probably do really well. And you know what? That's going to be all. So yeah, to summarize this short, I just gave a history about Ricochet and told people about the unfortunate controversy he had. I suppose a little bit of an offshoot on how I watch some shows, which was not planned at all. But I hope you still listen to this thing, So thank you guys for watching or listening to this podcast. Comment, like, and subscribe on YouTube. But if you guys are on Anchor, please go check out my channel, youtube.com/ZachTheSaint. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.